e lembrei de você. Hello everyone, today I have another video, and this video will include me reading few quotes from different philosophers and poets, and also several triggers with a random selection of objects that I have. So let's start, and I am going to start with a phrase, and this is by Albert Camus. He's a very famous philosopher. I think that he is rather more famous because of his looks, rather more famous because of his looks. I think he is really famous because he was good looking, but he's a very good philosopher as well. So the phrase is, nobody realizes that some people expend tremendous energy merely to be normal. To be normal. To be normal. Yes, so this phrase is very Camus-like, because he has a few different books that I have read, and I would say that this reflects his philosophy and personality, I would say, as well. So I think it's a very good quote, and again, just from the start, would recommend definitely looking into it. And the first trigger that we have today is a body mousse to oil from Rituals. So this is a body lotion or oil, if you wish, and I really like it. The smell is very, very good, but the amazing part is the texture. Smells amazing. So I use this on my body after the shower. So the second phrase will be by Franz Kafka, and the quote is, how about if I sleep a little bit longer? and forget all this nonsense. I love this phrase. A part of me wished that we could have like a Sleeping Beauty pill that one could take at any time that they are tired to face the reality. I know it sounds a bit, oh well, you know, but I wish that we could sometimes just sleep off the nonsense of life. So that is that on that phrase. And the next trigger or object that I have here is actually the continuation of the same line. So this is as well from Rituals. And this is the ritual of Mare, same as the previous moose. And this is a body scrub. So, body scrub. Here it is. I like this line very much. And therefore I have more than one product. I also have a shower mousse from the same line and a hand cream. Not only this smells amazing, but it is also very good quality. So I use this in the shower, and yes, so it's very easy to use. It's just a usual scrub, but it's very gentle. I have used some scrubs that had the grains very large, and it wasn't comfortable on the skin. This one, the grains are relatively small, and this includes several oils, so it's very nourishing to the skin. I'm very sorry if you hear the wind. Apparently, Germany has hurricanes now, so we are surviving one. It's really not a joke, but yes, it is what's happening, and if my house doesn't take flight, takes off with the wind, that'd be great. So the next quote that we have is by John Greenleaf Whittier, and the quote is, "Of all sad words, of tongue or pen, the saddest are this: it might have been. So this phrase is very dreamy, I would like to say. Yes, so I do think that it is sad to think what might have been if I did this or that in life. And so if you want to do something with your life, you should just do it, you know. Because I do think that sometimes, obviously, we do need to wait see the circumstances that might await us if we do something. But yes, I mean, if it is something that will affect you and not in a very negative way, yes, so I do think that the phrase encourages us to dream. And I have a very dreamy object here. It's a snowball. I love snowballs, globes. I really miss snow, and it's not snowing here in Germany. I mean, it was thundering another night, and I was like, we are in the middle of the winter. What is this? But at least, you know, we got some snow from the magic globe. I got this from a museum in Hamburg. I love Hamburg. It's my favorite city here in Germany. If you ever want to visit somewhere, definitely recommend to include Hamburg to your journey here. Oh, it still has the price. Oh well. So the next quote that I have here is by Alan Watts. I have several books from him as well. I think that if you need some motivation on just the life meaning and anything that would improve, you know, your thoughts about that, I would definitely recommend to check him out. He does have a few lectures available on YouTube, so it is easy to watch, and he has very pleasant voice as well, so definitely recommend it. And the quote is, "The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves." So, the meaning of life, of course, is something that we may or may not ever know, but sometimes the easier way to define the meaning of life is just to be alive. He has another phrase that I use to calm myself down when I am, angry about something or take something too serious in life. And the phrase is that we take too seriously something that the gods made for fun. Yes. So the next quote that we have here is from one of my favorite writers. So this is from Haruki Murakami. I really like his books. I think he's a very immersive writer. His books may not be very fancy or something extra, but it feels like when you are reading his books, you are living the life of the character, and that's why I like him so much. So the quote is, "I happen to like the strange ones. People who look normal and lead normal lives, they are the ones you have to watch out for." So, yes. This is a bit similar to the first phrase that we read. Next object is a candle. This is a hand-poured candle. oud. Oud. That's a cute word. It includes also jasmine and orange blossom, sparkle with bergamot, tea leaf, and sensual notes of oud. Related to both quotes, the first one and the one that I read last, I wanted to say that all of our paths are not easy. Yes, so life can be something, you know, but yes, if you try to be too normal or fit too much, I do think that you may end up living someone else's life. And even though that might sound like it would be easier, if we really have only one life to live, do we really want to copy something, you know, or be unique? So the next quote that I have here is from Umberto Eco. And yes, so the quote goes, "I belong to a lost generation, and I am only comfortable in the company of others who are lost and lonely." So this quote is very close to me. Yes. And that's that on that. So the next thing that I have here is something that I use to repel bad dreams. Some of you may say that this is a nightmare itself. So this is a doll from a Korean drama. It's okay to not be okay. I watch quite a bit of Korean dramas, but this one is one of my favorite. I see myself reflected in one of the characters. And I actually like the doll. I mean, it looks terrible, but I think it's kind of cute. And yes, I mean, not that it is something necessary, but I do think that it works too with all my bad dreams. And this was a gift from a friend, which I appreciate very much. As you can see, she doesn't look very new anymore. So she has had her adventures with me for some time now. So, as I mentioned, some people may find this doll ugly, but I do think that she's unique. So she may be lonely in her ugliness, but still here. Yes, and still appreciate. You don't dream with a doll chasing you around. Her name is Mangte. So the next quote is a bit more romantic. Let's change the subject for a little bit. And it is from Ernest Hemingway. So the quote is, "We would be together and have our books, and at night be warm in bed together, with the windows open and the stars bright." So recently I have read a book, The Farewell to Arms, from Hemingway. Usually I don't read romance books, or at least lately. I have read my share of romance books, yes, but either way, yes, so I have read The Farewell to Arms, and I thought that it was an actual like a rest from other books that I read, because I read a lot of books related to psychology and philosophy. Some of those can be heavy sometimes, but that one felt like a rest. It was so easy to read, and just simple and easygoing. I mean, easy to read. It does have a few things that are a bit tragic, but so the next thing that I have here is a sunglass case. have another bow for you today. This one is my favorite. Yes, and romantic looking. Seems like the rain is back. And the wind is joining him. I'm just glad we don't have tornadoes and stuff like that. Now that I said that, maybe the universe will align himself. Oops. So our next quote is by Rudyard Kipling, and he is one of my favorite writers from my childhood. So yes, I do remember that name very well. And the quote is, "We are all islands shouting lies to each other across seas of misunderstanding." By the way, I wanted to mention that all the credits for the quotes that I'm reading today go to a page, an Instagram page, quoting_literature. So yes, I follow them on Instagram just to have that inspiration sometimes. So I wanted to read this quote because recently I've been receiving so many information regarding issues that we have in the world, and but I just wanted to say that sometimes we hear someone say something and we align ourselves with them and we agree with what they have said to a certain degree. That degree takes us to assume that that opinion that was used by a different person is now ours. So many times we borrow the opinions that we have instead of looking into something and forming an opinion that would be entirely ours. And don't take me wrong, there's really nothing wrong to searching for information in order to inspire yourself on, or well, just be aware of something. But yeah, so that's the first part that I wanted to mention, and the second part is that many issues that people nowadays assume to be personal, those issues sometimes are structural issues. And people assume that the attack itself to solve that issue is directed to them. So yes, structural issues can be personal issues can be structural issues. But the solution definitely needs to be directed from the way that seems the correct to you. So yes, when you see something happening that you don't agree much with, please do be careful and read into the fact that if it's an issue that is affecting you personally, or if it's a structural issue that someone is trying to solve, and it could be affecting you, of course, but not necessarily. It is a personal attack. Yes, it could sound like something random, but I just wanted to say that. Now, let's focus on a different thing. This is a gift that I have received recently from a friend. So she came back from vacation in Brazil and she brought me this present. Estive em praia da Enseada, São Francisco do Sul, SC, Santa Catarina, e lembrei-me de você. The fact that I know how to read Portuguese, it's one of my mother tongues. I am planning to make a video of me speaking in different languages that I know. I do speak several languages, so if you would like to see that, please subscribe. Back to what matters. This is a very useful thing. It's actually a pocket where you can store your jewelry when you're traveling. So there's a Ziploc here. And also this handle that unclicks. And you can store your rings, or maybe you can store a few necklaces around. So I thought it was an amazing gift. And I appreciate it very much. the next quote that we have here is by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and the quote is, "I am a slave to my emotions, to my likes, to my hatred of boredom, to most of my desires." Yes, so we are actually guilty of being all that. The next object is a mug. I really like the shape of it and the color as well. This is my favorite mug to have my late night snack. Cereals. Some may say this is so random. Why did you bring me back to a video? But I think the sounds are quite good. Kind of sounds like that wind catcher. Yes, I think that my brain is onto something. Wind catcher seems like a good thing to say. I don't think I like the idea. I mean, it looks nice and all. I was still thinking about the wind catchers, but I think it's kind of spooky, you know. I mean, with my imagination, in the middle of the night, I hear something, you know, moving the wind catcher, and a whole movie will reveal itself. So the last quote that I am going to read is going to be from this book. So it is called Pause, 100 Moments of Calm. And it has It has 100 pages with different inspirational phrases, things to use to just, pause your life that could be hectic. So let's go to the middle. So, on the first part of the page, the phrase is, "Nothing can bring you peace but yourself." And this is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And the second page says, "Making decisions can cause stress levels to rise, and it's easy to overthink things and end up tying yourself in knots. Next time you have to make a difficult choice, follow these steps. Breathe and relax. Remind yourself that whatever happens, things will work out. Even mistakes can hold valuable lessons. Check in with yourself. What is your gut instinct? Go with that." So I use this book sometimes when I remember, and I use it just as the name indicates, to pause, Sometimes we focus on so many things throughout the days, and we forget to just stop, The world is so competitive nowadays. People seem to want to walk on each other's head just to go somewhere, reach something. So sometimes I just wonder, where are we all rushing, and towards what we are all running, really? It will all disappear all the same. But yes, take your time in a day to stop and think about you. How are you doing? And yes, that should be just enough to bring you peace in that moment. So, those were all the things that I wanted to share today. I hope you can use this video to relax wherever you are. Please don't take any of the things that I have mentioned too seriously. Don't borrow my opinion on things. Think for yourself, and yes, take your time to relax. Even if this video helps, please do enjoy it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please take care of yourself and have a good